Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Digital EDU Dialogues podcast. I'm Angela Britcher, and joining me today is Tiffany Watson. Tiffany is the Associate Vice President for eSpelman Operations. Thank you for joining me today, Tiffany.
Thank you for having me, Angela.
And you are part of this highly successful program at eSpelman, a certificate program, and it has grown so quickly from inception to exceeding the school's goals.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw out a few stats to get us started.
Yeah.
So you started in the fall of 2022 with 49 learners, let me look at my notes, and 3 certificates. And by the end of 2023, you had over 400 students in 7 certificates with 2 more on the way.
Yes.
Let's start just with those numbers.
I know, it was phenomenal. We were even surprised by the early success of the program. And now we have seen over 2,300 learners come through our program, and they're coming back to take advantage of more certificate programs. So a lot of growth, a lot of great progress for our learners, a lot of great success and innovation and transformation for Spelman. And we couldn't be more thrilled by it.
That is fantastic. I love that idea that students are enjoying it so much that they're coming back for more. And so tell us more about Spelman and eSpelman and what makes the school so unique.
Yeah, so Spelman is the number one HBCU in the country, and it has been phenomenal since its inception in 1881. And so in the last few years, we have been increasingly thinking more about how to reach another population of learners while also supporting our current undergraduate students. We learned a long time ago with our board of regents and our senior leadership and giving thought to the current debt load of our undergraduate students when they graduate, that we needed to give them more assistance financially. And so with our early success of summer online programs, our board of trustees and senior leadership said, we need to give thought to how we can leverage this great work to generate more alternative revenue and scholarship dollars for undergraduate students, also serving a new population of learners in the way Spelman has done so well in teaching and learning excellence for so many years. And so we started the early research. In 2019, we hired a firm, Kennedy & Company, to help us think through what that looks like. How can Spelman leverage the brand of excellence, what our faculty do in the design of their courses and the empowerment and confidence building that we do for our women scholars, and take all of that and harness all of that, what we call the secret sauce or the Spelman secret sauce, and infuse that into certificate programs that address a workforce need and upskilling and reskilling so that our new learners, our new target population can take those tools that they get for the certificate programs and apply them very quickly in their work and see a value add to the work they're doing in their organization. So that work started in 2019. Again, as you mentioned, we started with 3 programs. Based off of what we understood of the needs of our partners who said, we want our employees to be able to do this. And so we started shaping with our faculty what those certificates would look like and how to leverage how Spelman infuses conversations and content around social justice, gender, equity, access into the course. You can see yourself reflected in those courses. And so we got started. We launched, and we've seen some quick success.
And it sounds like, I think part of that secret sauce is really listening. Listening to all of your stakeholders, your partners, your faculty, the research about what your community really needs from you in terms of certificate programs. So it sounds like a lot of listening and really taking that to heart and then saying, this is what Spelman does best. Here's how we can marry these together to build a program.
Yeah, and it really was understanding our unique value proposition in the market, that we didn't want to do it like anybody else did. Certainly, we could have taken from a Southern New Hampshire, huge success, Harvard, and we did look at all of those schools for operational excellence. But what does it mean for Spelman to get into the market and to highlight what we do so well? And so we were very thoughtful about certificates that were already saturated or programs that were already full out there. But being very thoughtful, particularly about project management, that's very popular and everybody wants to get some upskilling in how to manage projects successfully, but how does Spelman do it well? And we found that. And so that's also part of the magic, is really understanding what you do well and
Mhm.
leveraging that so that folks who need you are attracted to your programs.
Mhm. And tell us more about the specific certificate programs. Now, you mentioned project management. Tell us about the programs that you're offering.
Sure. So we started with project management. We have a certificate program called Business Essentials. We have a program called Leading Self, Leading Others. Those were our first three. Our diverse leadership certificate program is based off of one of Spelman's signature certificate programs, African Diaspora of the World. And it's built from our Spelman faculty members who have subject matter expertise in the subject. It is one of our most popular certificate programs with our alums. They were so excited when they saw this program come out because many of them couldn't take advantage of that learning at Spelman. And now they have an opportunity to get a certificate in it. And it really is the discussion of how to learn about African diaspora of the world, knowledge and techniques, and how to apply that in the workforce. Learning your own diverse leadership styles and how to lead more diverse teams. It's a great certificate program. We're developing a business communication certificate that should be launched in term 3, and which is in October, and a advanced project management certificate, which is our most popular program with both of our partner organizations and our external external learners who are interested in project management.
Fantastic. And you had told me about another program that I wanted to highlight too, because what I really loved about this was the idea of entrepreneurship. So you
Yeah.
talked about cosmetics meets entrepreneurship. Talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that.
So Cosmetic Science is just a phenomenal certificate program, and it was developed by Dr. Leita Winfield, who is the Division of Natural Sciences and Mathematics chair, and she's also subject matter expert in cosmetics and cosmetic chemistry. And so I like to make sure I make the distinction that cosmetic science is not cosmetology, but it is the study of formulations and how our everyday makeups and lotions are created and formulated. And Essence Magazine, I think they coined this phrase, the kitchen cosmetic science or scientist. And so it's for those people who are at home and they're excited about developing a product. And so it combines both formulations and what goes into these products, natural product formulations, as well as some entrepreneurship. So not just understanding how your product is developed, but also understanding how you launch your business and market your business. It's a phenomenal certificate program and growing in popularity, and the only one at an HBCU.
Fantastic. And I know I hear from my students all the time, they have an entrepreneurial spirit. And so it's so wonderful to see this, to see that being fostered and to have them have opportunities for a certificate to enrich these skill sets.
Yeah.
I wanted you to share a story that you and I talked about. You talked about your partners, and you had shared a story with me about working with your partner, Rocket Mortgage. If you could share a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So one of our early certificate partners, Rocket Mortgage, invited us to their career fair and their graduation. And so they have a graduation ceremony for all of their employees who complete bachelor's degrees, graduate certificate programs. And one of our learners was participating in the graduation program. We call them completers. Rocket Mortgage calls them graduates, which is awesome. She had on her cap, and it was just phenomenal. I ran up and I hugged her, and I know she was like, "Oh my God, who is this lady?" And I had on my eSpelman's shirt. I was so proud. She was so proud. It was just so great to see that next step of her journey that she had started. She completed it, and now she's being celebrated by her organization for the work that she had put in. And so it was a phenomenal experience. It was so great.
Those moments make it all worthwhile.
It does. It does.
All right, we are going to take a short 30-second break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how Spelman and eSpelman are educating the whole learner over the lifetime and really working with our lifelong learners.
Today's episode is brought to you by Professor Services. Looking for a job in teaching? Need to expand your network? Want to boost your income? Whatever it is, the expert team at Professor Services has you covered. From helping higher ed faculty find new jobs, to essential tools such as cover letters and CVs, to applying to jobs for you, Professor Services equips you to nail your job search. Don't stress over the job hunt. Maximize your potential and crush your next opportunity with support from our team of experienced administrators, mentors, and educators. Discover how the team at Professor Services can help. Visit professorservices.com today to get started and kickstart your career in higher education.
I'm Angela Britcher, and I'm back with Tiffany Watson from eSpelman. And Tiffany, when we first met, you talked about the qualities that make Spelman unique and the mission that is woven into your instructional design, into your programs, and into everything you do. If you could talk about that mission and how you work that in.
Yeah, so I like to describe what Spelman does so great for the women scholars who are coming to the college. And I kind of describe it as this journey that they take. And, you know, when Spelman describes the mission and the vision, it is to educate, train, and empower and uplift, build confidence in women of color and women all over the world. And so you can see when our undergraduate students come to campus and they know Spelman, but they're a little bit shy. And it's almost like their Spelman sisters come up and put a little crown on their head that says, you've made it, you're here. And now it's time for us to show you the way. And over the course of their time there, as they're taking more classes, as they're having more co-curricular experiences, research opportunities with their faculty, study abroad, you see that crown get a little bit bigger. They get a lot more confident. They are understanding what their charge is and what Spelman expects them to do with all of these knowledge and experience. You're going to go out here and you're going to change the world. You may be the only person that looks like you at that table, but you're going to be empowered to know you have a voice, the experience, and the tools to make change. That's what we pull into eSpelman. And that's what we do with our faculty that are teaching, what we've learned through our staff who build these co-curricular programs for Spelman. It is empowerment. It's confidence building. It's tools so that you feel empowered to go in and confident and skilled to go into your employer, into your profession, and lead groups to positive performance outcomes. And so we take that Spelman sauce, we pull it into eSpelman so that they have a very similar strengthened, valued experience, not the same as the undergrad experience, but designed specifically for this professional learner. I mean, we had one of our learners come back because we asked them to give us testimonies. And she said, if I had had this program and this experience 25 years ago, I would be in a different place. That was powerful. And so that's exactly what it is that we're trying to do. We're giving you an experience so that you are empowered and you can go back to your organization and have positive performance outcomes.
And this is so different than the model we often see, which is what will generate us the most revenue, right? And instead it's, wanting to, of course, generate revenue. And I want to circle back to that and how this feeds into scholarships. But to me, when you've got that mission and you're so clear on it, then you're going to attract the right students and the right people are going to be there. And as you're already experiencing, they are going to refer others and they are going to keep coming back for more. And what an incredible experience that makes for learners as well as for the growth of eSpelman.
Yeah.
And if you could talk a little bit more about how the program feeds into your scholarship program.
Yeah. So the whole initial purpose and push for standing up a new online learning enterprise was as an alternative revenue stream. As I mentioned, we knew that Spelman College was the tuition was a little expensive for the learners that we serve, a lot expensive, because our undergrads were leaving with a substantive amount of debt. And so how are we telling them that or giving them the competitive edge that we promise if they're leaving and they have six-figure debt? That was important for our board and our president and our senior leadership and the college to solve. We have to fix this. We have to address the need. And so it was okay, online learning, we've done it well for undergrads. We can do it well for this target population and generate revenue. Our first year, we generated a little over $4 million in gross revenue. And so that money is pushed back into the operating side of the college. And then as a result of that, as we generate more revenue, those dollars are then pushed over to the undergraduate side in scholarships. And so we're hoping by year 3, year 4, year 5, we will see more available dollars to send over to our undergraduates so that we can support their completion.
What a fantastic commitment to your learners and to their future.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you have some final thoughts that you wanted to share to invite people to try eSpelman.
Yeah. We hear from a lot of our adult learners that they're just scared. I'm afraid. I haven't done this in a long time. The last time I was in a classroom was in high school, but I know I want to do better. I know I want a promotion, but I'm nervous. All you have to do is take that first step with us. If you take one step with us, we will be with you on that journey the rest of the way. Fill out the application. You will hear from us. We will talk to you about the supports that we have in place for you. We will have conversations and connect you with other learners who are trying to just who are there to figure it out. How do I manage this with my family? How do I manage this with a job? How do I manage this just managing me and myself? And we have a committee of learners who have been through the process and are here to also help and support. So just take that first step and we will pull you along the rest of the way.
Tiffany, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing about eSpelman and Spelman and their mission in this successful program.
Thank you for having me.
This episode of DigitalEDU Dialogues is brought to you by the BAB Group. The demands for teaching and online learning are constantly evolving. Don't get left behind. Carve out a competitive edge and give students engaging learning experiences with support from the BAB Group's team of course design experts. As experienced online faculty and instructional designers, the BAB Group knows how to craft those aha moments for students and meet outcomes for every modality, online, hybrid, and face-to-face. Creating engaging, welcoming, and inclusive learning spaces for students of all ages and abilities has never been more important. Discover how the BAB Group can help you by visiting their website today.